Audio Jungle.
Hey guys, how are you? Hola, ¿cómo están? My name is Bianca Solo. I am a certified personal trainer and online fitness coach. Welcome. I just want to thank you for taking out the time to watch this video. If it's good afternoon, good evening, good night for you, welcome. So so this video, I'm just gonna get straight into the juice. Like, this video is gonna get really deep, really fast. I'm gonna be talking about some sensitive topics and whatnot. So just a disclaimer, if like any type of topics about like mental health, like struggle, like anxiety, like stuff of that nature makes you uncomfortable in any way, I wouldn't recommend watching this video. But we're gonna get very real and very honest today about things that I've struggled through and struggled with, and I just wanted to let you guys know before we get into it. Okay. Also, just another disclaimer, no negativity, tearing people down, just terrorizing people in the comments will be allowed, including myself. Like, it's not going to be tolerated. So any like really harsh negative comments or anything of that nature will be deleted immediately. So just don't go there. We're going to keep things positive, uplifting, and empowering. Okay. All right. So if you followed me on YouTube or have subscribed for some time now, or even Instagram, you know that kind of like one of my first introduction videos back to YouTube was a mental health video I did. I want to say it was like almost 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. But yes, it was a mental health video where I opened up about going through postpartum depression, and parts of what that experience was like for me. And I told you guys we're gonna go deep real quick, so just be ready. Okay, so I guess like the first beginning portions of that postpartum depression came about 4 years ago, but what I had noticed even after making that video is that I would still have parts of that depression that would leap up and out to me again and again over time. So even though it was something I had severely went through, and then I made that video and I was like, yeah, I got through it, like we did it, and it wasn't really like that. I still had bursts of depression. I would have anxiety attacks where I just couldn't function. There was just like breakdown periods where all I could do was just like cry. There was times where I couldn't even function. Like, it was just so much for me, and I was like, what the heck? I was like, I just got on YouTube and I made this video about like getting through it, and then I'm still going through it. Like, what's going on here, So I really had to do some internal like work and learning about myself and figuring out what the root was for me feeling the way that I did and going through what I was going through. And I just couldn't understand, because I was like, I thought I was over this. Like, why is this still happening to me? Why am I still feeling this way? Like, I don't understand. So if you're watching this video at the time that I filmed it, we are currently in a global pandemic, so along with that, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, a lot of just things that are coming to light. The news is just there, and then there's these issues and these issues, and it's been a lot. It's been a taxing time, I know, for everybody. And what was crazy is, like even 2020, like March, whenever this kind of shutdown was beginning to happen, that was literally at the peak of my anxiety attacks. And absolutely, here, let me rewind this. I want people to I want people to understand that there's people that can be going through depression, anxiety, have just like mental health issues, and you will never know. They're normally functioning people. They're people at your job. They're people in your house. They could be your brother, it could be your sister, it could be your best friend or your coworker. And people do a really good job of maybe like concealing it. And that's kind of where I was too. There's nobody that knew that I was struggling mentally. I was still functioning in my job. I was still doing what I was supposed to do. I was still handling my responsibilities. I was still doing all of that. But I was struggling through these issues. So I want people to kind of get over that, like, oh, well, you know, like, they don't have any signs or da-da-da-da-da. Like, check on your friends, check on your family members, check on the people you love and care about to make sure that they're okay mentally, because you never know. Okay, so that was also my fear of making this video, and even talking about what I was still going through at the time, because I was like, well, people think I can't do my job, like I can't do what I'm supposed to do, like how am I going to be responsible for getting girls through fitness challenges or functioning at work if people think I'm going through all this stuff mentally. But it's quite the opposite. You can be fully functioning and still struggling. Okay, so I just wanted to clear that up. So while, you know, quarantine started back in March 2020, it was like the peak of my like anxiety and my meltdowns, and I was having trouble breathing. There was times where I couldn't eat, like, and you know, like, I'm really gonna admit this on camera, and this is gonna be on the internet, I'm gonna talk about this, but I was really struggling a lot with negative self-talk. Like, I was literally like attacking myself in my own head. I was telling myself things like, oh, you're not good enough, or it's too late for you to hit your goals, or the time has gone and passed, there's people who are way ahead of you, you're too late, you can just give up now, you don't have what it takes. Like, all of this stuff in my head, like literally like a tape rerunning, like every day, to the point where I just couldn't even deal with my own thoughts anymore. And all I could do, like, I would just literally go in my closet, because that's the only room that didn't have people in it, and I would just cry, right? And I would just wipe my tears after I got done crying for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then I would come back out and try and pretend like nothing was wrong and that everything was fine. And it definitely wasn't fine, right? So the whole purpose of even making this video is that I want to really discuss like practical strategies and things that I've done that have helped me get in a whole new mental space. Because right now, at this moment that I'm making this video and that I'm filming this, I have not dealt with anxiety or anything in like the last 2 months, and depression or any of that stuff. And for me, that's a huge win, because that was such a part of my regular life and my regular thinking and what was happening on a regular basis. And that's literally my biggest win of 2020. And the whole purpose of me even trying to get on YouTube and doing stuff like this is just to make content that helps people, that helps other women. If you're a guy, you're watching this, if it helps you, I want to help people, right? And I want to do it, I want to do it. Like, that's what I want to do. And I'm hoping through this video that it can help somebody by maybe seeing someone who looks like you, or maybe comes from a similar background or whatnot, and really talking about things that I've done to help me get in a better mental space. And I'm really excited. If you're still watching this, just stay tuned. We're about to go into it, okay? Okay. So one thing that I want to discuss is like the stigma that like self-love or like healing is supposed to be like this, like Bambi, like Snow White going through, is it Snow White? When she, like, one of the Disney princesses, when she goes through the woods and all the animals just flock to her, and she's like singing, and it's like, oh, like healing, like negative. It's a process. Like, I knew for a long time that I wanted to be better, I wanted to grow, I wanted to be more positive, I wanted to love myself more, and things like that. Like, I've been talking about self-love for like the past 4 years. Like, it's really been a thing for me, you know what I mean? So now I'm in, basically this was like year 3 going into year 4 of like that self-love journey, to where I finally found like peace within myself. And it really wasn't like, and peace and love and all that stuff is not like avoidance. It's not like just posting positive quotes on social media and now you're automatically positive and you think good. Like, it's not that at all. It really takes looking within and finding out like why is it that I talk to myself this way, or why is it that I continuously feel the way I do, or why is it that I respond to things so quickly? I was like, why am I so reactive to things? Like, what is it within me that makes me react? Sorry. What is it within me that makes me react to certain things? Like, what is it? You know, asking yourself questions like why. So the other thing that I wanted to know is, like, I think self-love is a skill, and that's what makes it so awesome, right? So if you're watching this and you're having struggles with, like, the way you view yourself, or your self-esteem, or your self-confidence, I think self-love is a skill, and it can be learned, right? And that's literally the most wonderful, enlightening thing about it, is that you can learn to love yourself. And I don't think, well, I know that we're not taught this skill set. We're not taught it in school. We're not taught on social, well, a little social media, but it depends. We're not really taught about it in the media. We're not really taught about it in certain magazines and things like that. Like, it's something you have to search for and then try to learn within yourself, right? So one of the first things that really, really, really helped me this year is self-help books. Like, if you know me, like, you know that I'm obsessed with reading. I have literally within my library of books, I have like a whole section dedicated to like self-help and like love and healing and self-acceptance and like spirituality and transformation. Like, I have a whole section for just that. And man, it's literally transformed everything about myself. And I say this to my like little sister and to like people that I'm really close to. I'm like, listen, people who write books, they've compiled their whole life of experiences, things that they've gone through, things that they've healed from, all of that, and they compile it into these itty bitty pages, like that small, of like information that's completely transformative and that will completely change your life. And some of them, like a really good author that I love and highly recommend if you're watching this, Don Miguel Ruiz. His books are transformative, and even his books, it's actually beyond, it's like centuries of wisdom, of information. So please, if there's anything you get from watching this, is invest into your mindset, into your peace, into your spirituality, into your like self-care. That's like one of the highest forms of self-love for me, is trying to just like learn, learn. That's a form of self-love. Okay, so I guess that's one. So number two would be, I did talk about like getting involved in communities before, but this year it really like came full circle for me. So if you're watching this, you probably know, if you're following me on Instagram, that I've been invited to speak at a few conferences this year. So I'm like, that's so huge. They were virtual conferences because they happened during quarantine, but I was like, me? Really? Like, it was just huge. Like, I did not expect that to happen this year. But it did, and I'm really, really grateful for it. And then I was invited to just be in these wonderful, like, supportive communities of like boss people. There was like boss babes, like boss people over here, and I'm like, woo, like, this is so cool. And then I joined a book club this year, and that was like, that's been so awesome. So we basically like get together, and there's like a focus for the book of the, I guess like the month, and we all like read it together, and we like check in with each other like via Zoom, which is like a virtual video conference platform, and we kind of share what we've gotten out of the books. And then also within my friend group, like close friends of mine, we decided to do like an accountability circle where we hold each other accountable to goals. So like, if there's anything out of this, it's like community. Like, find a community that works for you. I know there's tons of them in Facebook, but like this year I actually like took action on it. I was like, I'm gonna get involved in like communities, and there's actually tons of them out there. I see them all the time on like Instagram. You know, you just have to like follow the right accounts, follow like positivity accounts, like the Boss Babe accounts, like these accounts, and you know what you go looking for is looking for you. So if you really want that, and if you want that kind of community type thing, go looking for it. Go looking for it here, figure out if you like this, if you like this community, maybe you like this one a little bit more, but figure out which one you like and just roll with it and get involved, and you know, and just be there, like be there. And yes, I promise, this one right here, okay. Guys, okay. So the third thing, I had to take a minute there because we're kind of gonna go a little deep right now. So I really had to like come together. So I'm just take a second, glory to God, because I'm able to like reflect on this whole situation from like a more healed place, okay? So the third thing, right? So there was something that I was like really going through at the end of like 2019, to where I was really like heavily searching for like a mental health doctor, a therapist, psychologist, like somebody. Like I needed somebody to help me with what I was struggling through, like mentally, emotionally, like all of that stuff. It's really crazy because I didn't even tell anybody. Like I told my parents, but like months after the fact that I had like searched for somebody and kind of what happened with that situation. But basically, I went to a doctor, a mental health doctor, highly qualified, highly certified, all of that good stuff. And they diagnosed me with a mental health disorder. And they wanted to prescribe me and put me on a lot of medication, which I didn't feel ready for at the time. And like, I'm not here, this is not mental health advice. I'm not a mental health doctor or any of that nature, so please seek your own guidance, counseling, all of that stuff, but I'm just basically explaining my experience. But yes, medication is not something that I wanted to commit to or do, so instead of like hurrying up and trying to find someone else to help me, I was actually very, very discouraged, and I was like very hurt for a time period because I couldn't believe that I had the type of diagnosis that I was given. So yeah, it was a kind of like a shock factor. I was like, well, you know, I was kind of going back and forth like within myself. So things progressively got worse, right? So we're talking about the end of like maybe like December, November 2019, and then we were moving into like the quarantine period, right, where like my anxiety attacks got the worst. So it was at this point in time, I'm like, look, everything's shut down. Forcefully, we cannot work. We have to stay home. We have stay-at-home orders. Now we can't go outside, all of this stuff. So Bianca, what are you gonna do, right? So it was during that period of time I was looking for like virtual resources to help me out, and I had even had someone locally, like an office that I was gonna go visit and have my first session with, but since like quarantine closed and they weren't offering anything virtually, I was forced to look at other options, and I came across an amazing, wonderful hypnotherapist, right? So there's tons of different like therapy styles, mental health styles, and things like that. So I highly recommend like doing your research and figuring out what works best for you. But I found one that worked best for me, and literally her style, her training style, and just what the work we were able to do together has completely like transformed my, like me, who I am. I know y'all feel my energy, like I'm totally different. My family feels the difference, my friends feel the difference, I feel the difference. Like people's closest to me, they're like, dude, like you're in a whole new place right now. I'm like, yes, I know, I feel it, like I feel really good, you know? So invest in your mental health. Like that's all I'm gonna say, because like if you're constantly like struggling through like anxiety and depression, all that negative self-talk or struggle or all of that, if that's normal to you, I just want to let you know, like it doesn't have to be. Like it really doesn't. And there's a light that can be at the end of the tunnel. You just have to be willing to invest in yourself. And if one route doesn't work, you also have to be willing to try another route and another route and another route until you get it right. Because if I had given up after going to that one doctor and having that diagnosis and that whole situation, like I wouldn't be where I am today, and I'm so happy for it. Like I'm telling y'all, biggest win of 2020. So please, you know, I know in the Latin community we don't talk about mental health. It's like this weird like oh, está loca, like oh, like she crazy, like all of that stuff. But it's important. Even if you're not Hispanic, or if you're African American, or if you're white, or if you're this Asian, this, that, like invest into your mental health. Like it will just do it, you know, like Nike, be like Nike, girl, just, or boy, just do it, okay? All right, y'all, number 4. Okay, so we're not gonna get that deep with this one, all right? We're gonna keep it good. It's gonna be good, no tears. All right, so number 4 is move your body. Okay, so movement of the body releases endorphins, which is a hormone in your body that is basically like the happy hormone. Okay, so your body is like the most amazing like system like ever. It's like the universe. Like there's so many moving parts. There's muscle fibers, there's bones, there's organs, there's this, there's brain cells, there's neurons. Like there's so many different things and that are working within your body, right? So endorphins is basically like a chemical, a hormone that's released in your body that makes you happy, right? So movement brings happiness. So please get up and get moving. I know it's still quarantine right now, you have to stay inside, that's okay, but move your body. Like dance in the mirror, you know what I mean? Do some yoga. For me, I do weight training and strength training, so work out, you know. If you can go outside and maybe go on a trail, like go for a run, you know, but please make moving your body a part of your regular day-to-day thing. Because I know most of us, you know, like especially in America, we work all the time, we're working, we're sitting down, we're studying, we gotta study, so you're always seated, you're watching TV, so you're seated. So like find ways, strategic ways to move your body, you know, watch YouTube content, get with a workout program, different programs, things like that. So whatever you need to do, like just do it, and I promise it's gonna help tremendously. So yes. Okay, so number 6. It's crazy. If you would have told me, like, when I was like in high school that like in 2020 I would be doing this thing, I'd be like, you're crazy. Like, what? You know? But I'm doing it and it's working. So I highly recommend like meditation. Okay? So one thing that I've been doing starting in quarantine is meditating more. As per recommendation from my hypnotherapist, and it has completely transformed everything that I do every day, like all the time, like period. And I highly recommend it. I know they have like guided meditations you can follow on YouTube, or you know, you can find someone who specializes in that can maybe teach you, but try it. Like try to learn about it, it just has so much benefits. It allows you to be still in yourself, still in your mind. We live in a really fast-paced world. Everything's moving fast, information's fast, the cars are fast, you know, people are just fast, go, you know, and it just allows you to be really still. Like still, turn off your phone, stay in silence, like stop your thinking, stop your thoughts, and just focus on this or that, or the waves, or the beats, or this or that, or the words, or you know, whatever. And I just highly recommend it if it's not part of your normal schedule. So even if it's just for like 2 minutes a day, like transformative right there, okay? Okay, y'all, last but not least, this is probably the most important of them all, okay, is don't give up and never stop learning, okay? So as humans, it's a part of like who we are as a species to want to progress and grow, right? So in order to be able to do that, you always have to be trying to learn new information. So your mindset is going to be programmed no matter what. So even if you like just decide like, oh, I just watched this whole video and I don't want to take any of her advice. Like regardless, your mindset and the way you think is going to be programmed whether you like it or not. It's always being programmed by what you watch, by what you follow on social media, by what you react to, by who you surround yourself with, by the billboards you pass through, by the TV shows that you watch, by the commercials that come on. All the time is your mind being programmed. So you have to like decisively decide, like, I'm gonna channel my focus here on self-help and self-love. I'm gonna channel my focus here to like meditation and stilling my mind. Or I'm gonna channel my focus here to work with this mental health doctor, this therapist. So you have to decisively decide, like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this. And I can't ever give up on myself and trying to learn and to grow different styles, because you don't know what you don't know. If I had never been willing to try it, and you know, at first I was like, I don't know. But if I had never been willing to try it, you wouldn't see me as a person I am right now. And I really like myself. And I don't think I would have ever been able to come on here and say that, but I like myself. And it's crazy, right? But it's wonderful. And I just want to share things that have worked for me and what that experience feels like. So I never want you to give up. I never want you to stop growing. Just always just look for that next better way of doing things, or that next book, or that next inspirational video, or the next person that's going to help you feel good about yourself, or community, or whatever it is. Like, just do it. Nike. Okay. If you're still watching this, I just want to remind you how powerful, wonderful, and just amazing it is that you're here and that you're watching this, and all the things that have had to come together to be able to just like create the being that you are. Okay, so understand that, know that everything, all the power, all the love, all the confidence, everything that you're looking for is already within you. So all we have to do is just develop those skill sets of self-love and all that good stuff. Before even going on to making any other videos, I felt like it was really important to make this video, just because I started off this channel talking about self-love, other than like the previous dance videos that I have since forever ago. But I felt like I had to open up this way before getting into like, you know, like nutritional stuff, like food, workouts, like all that stuff. Like I felt it in my soul, my spirit to really come on here and talk about this. So I just want to thank you for taking the time to be here with me today. I really hope that you got something out of it, and if you did, please let me know. I would love to hear about your experience or what you've liked best about it. You can either DM me on Instagram, or you can comment below what you like best about this video. But if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button to stay tuned with my next video that's going to become out very soon. All right guys, be safe, take care.